3 years ago, the Australian Government asked the Advisory Council on Intellectual Property to look at the Australian Designs Law and see if there needed to be major changes. So there's been a lot of committee examination of this and questioning of various people, and the short answer seems to be, in the final report that we've just seen, no major changes to Australian Designs Law. For example, an unregistered design right was considered, but that's been rejected by the Advisory Council. Furthermore, the Advisory Council thinks it's too early to introduce specific provisions dealing with 3D printing, which is going to become even more important in the years to come. They also looked at the issue of copyright design overlap, which is a very difficult area in copyright and designs. And apart from a minor change they're recommending to the Designs Act, they're saying, well, that's a copyright issue and we shouldn't really be addressing that. And I think that's frankly a surprising outcome.
Mm-hmm. So what are the major changes that have been recommended? Well,
Kate, there are a few. Most significantly, the recommendation for an introduction of a grace period, which means that if you accidentally publish, or even deliberately, publish your design before you apply for your application for your registration, you don't immediately lose your rights. There's a grace period of, they're recommending 6 months. Allied to that, that means if someone else starts using in that interim period, they'll have a complete defence, and that's totally understandable. There's also a suggestion that they'll expand the period of design registration from 10 to 15 years, but that's going to depend on whether we join an international convention called the Hague Agreement. So there's a couple of things that are being looked at. They're also suggesting an opposition period potentially come in, which will be interesting and increase the opportunity for others to challenge designs. But pretty much the system's going to be the same with a few tweaks as it is at the moment. So I think that means for everybody, if you're registering your designs now, you should, and if you're not, you should.
Tim, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.